Hello students, welcome to Newspaper Highlight series of Ajmal IS Academy. Here we will see some important newspaper article and how to study them for mains and prelims perspective. So let's start the session. Our first article is related to 4 new state government mounting debt burden. This article is taken from the Indian Express. For prelims perspective, focus on the factual detail of fiscal deficit versus public debt, India's average debt to GSDP ratio, state development loan and special category states. For mains perspective, this article is important for GS paper 3 economy point of view and it can be linked to the topic of fiscal federalism challenges, structural reason behind rising debt burden, FRBM Act framework, welfare spending versus fiscal sustainability, unconventional fiscal remedies. The core idea of this article is India's state debt crisis reflect the tension between welfare expansion and fiscal sustainability. Our next article is related to Supreme Court expanded the definition of acid attack victim. This article is taken from the Indian Express. For prelims perspective, focus on the factual detail of the Supreme Court's ruling on a Right of Person with Disability Act 2016 on Article 14, Article 21 and Section 1 to 4 of BNS. For mains perspective, this article is important for GS paper 2 polity and social justice point of view and it can be connected to the topic of expansive interpretation of welfare law, disability right jurisprudence, reversal of burden of proof in acid attack cases, gender-based violence and rehabilitation, judicial activism and purpose interpretation. The core idea of this article is the judgment expands disability rights from visible injury to invisible sufferings. Our next article is related to Karnataka's new gig worker grievance system. This article is taken from the Hindu. From prelims perspective, focus on the factual detail of gig economy and platform workers. Karnataka Platform-Based Gig Worker Act 2025 integrated public grievance redressal system and schemes being considered for gig workers. For mains perspective, this article is important for GS paper 2 governance and GS paper 3 economy point of view. It can be linked to the topic of social security for gig workers, platform economy regulation, India's 4 labor code, informal sector labor reform, digital governance in labor welfare. The core idea of this article is Karnataka's gig worker law marks India's shift towards platform labor regulation. Our final article is related to if Chief Minister refuses to relinquish office after electoral defeat. This article is taken from the Hindu. For prelims perspective, focus on the factual detail of Article 164, Article 172 and Article 356, Section 100 of Representation of People's Act, floor test, important cases. For mains perspective, this article is important for GS paper 2 polity point of view and it can be linked to the topics of constitutional position of governor in relation to Council of Minister, Parliamentary Convention versus explicit constitutional text, floor test as a democratic safety valve, Article 356 and its misuse. The core idea of this article is in a parliamentary system, the real test of power is majority support in the House. That's all for today and for a detailed analysis of newspaper article, visit the Ajmal IS Academy website. Thank you.